My brothers, I hope everybody's doing good. It has been a while since I've been here, so I decided to jump here and do a quick live stream. I haven't done this, like I said, in a few days. As you guys know, Hurricane Irma passed through and it hit us pretty bad. Here I am in camera. I hope you guys are doing good. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the emails that I've been getting. A lot of you guys email me to make sure, or message me emails and things like that to make sure that I was doing good, and I definitely appreciate that. That means a lot to me. That tells me that I'm doing something right when some of you guys care about me. So that's cool. I see a couple of you guys here in the house already. Mateo is out there. How you doing, brother? Semper Fi to you. Count Spooky is in the house. The guy 7710 was the first one. What's up, man? How you been? Same thing. He says South Georgia got hit pretty good too. Yeah, man. It was kind of scary. It was kind of crazy, but it's kind of like what we do here in Florida, right? We always getting hit with hurricanes and things like that. So I really appreciate all the support you guys giving me, and I really appreciate everything. I mean, it was just amazing to be able to get a lot of comments and a lot of stuff from you guys. A lot of the guys on the Patreon. If you want to support the channel, obviously you could become a patron. A lot of you guys supported me, or send me messages through that as well, and I was able to post pictures and things like that to the channel, or to you guys via Patreon. I don't really do anything else, so when I pretty much Patreon is, I don't do Instagram or nothing else. I don't know how to put the camera back again. Give me a second. There we go. All right, there we go. I forgot how to put the camera back again. Let me take this off. But I appreciate the support. And some of you guys that, I was able to post pictures about the house, pictures about a bunch of other stuff, and you guys saw that. Now, I haven't really done much on Instagram. I should get back into doing things on Instagram, so you guys could have seen those pictures as well, the people that don't support me on Patreon. But it's just too many social medias. I can't keep up. I'm just one guy. I work full time, and I just cannot keep up with all that social media stuff. It is what it is. So I got a bunch of videos that I want to do. I got some topics that I wrote down regarding to the whole hurricane Irma. So I got some topics, like I said, I'm going to do. If you guys got questions, definitely put it in the comments and I'll let you know. But overall, we spent 5 days with no lights. 5 days with no lights and 5 days with no internet. And the horrible thing is that my cell phone, I got Sprint, and Sprint sucks so much. God, sucks so much. I wasn't able to do anything neither with the cell phone. I wasn't able to even barely send a text message. I mean, it's horrible to the point that you cannot even send a text message out, right? So every now and then what I did was that I walked, when I left the house, I went to Lowe's or places like that where you could sign into the Wi-Fi, and I was able to update some of you guys. So, but it's glad, I'm glad to be back. I really am, because I enjoy this community and I enjoy doing things like this. So, and quite frankly, 5 days without light sucks. It really does. I think it's about 58,000 people in the county. And by the time that we got lights or power, we were like in the 15,000. There's still some people that have no power. There's still some people that have no internet. They're coming up in day 6. So we definitely need to continue the prayers, and we definitely need to continue praying for the people and praying for a good recovery, right? 4.6 million people around there. Last time that I saw in the news, 4.6 million people without electricity. I mean, it was a pretty bad storm. It was pretty bad, but I'm glad to be back. Really, really glad to be back. And I wrote some things down that I needed during the hurricane. Not just me, but some of the things that was like really, really important to us, This is not really a survival thing. When it comes down to survival, it's different. You just get what you have. You use what you can. You do what you can do with whatever you have. But, preparedness is to be able to prepare, so in case something happened, you're able to have things that is going to help you out, right? So it's okay. To me, it's okay to have some preparation that is going to make your life easier. It's going to make your life simple, right? And, things like a generator. Excellent idea. So things like that. So I wanted to name this video what do I name it? I name it prepare barely has anything to do with guns. Because the reality is that when I come here and I talk to a lot of guys, I always see the same thing. I always see guns, 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 guns. And I get it because guns are cool. I mean, I love shooting. I love going to the range, and guns is cool. But the reality is that there's so much more than guns. And I constantly tell people I'm not a gun channel. I really not. You know, I like the whole concept of preparation, and you know, guys like Mr. Guns and Gear, great channel. That's a gun channel. All he does is guns. Excellent channel. But to me, I'm in a different level of channel per se. You know, my channel is about preparedness, and I like to talk about preparations. Obviously, guns have to do with that, but I go beyond the guns because I like to talk about the whole preparation factor. So Troll said you are a gun channel. I'm in denial, man, just like you in denial being a prepper. Get that one. Pastor Charles in the house. I appreciate your support, sir, and your prayers here into the channel. But here, I posted this picture, or I posted this kind of like a list on Patreon, and he actually added up toilet paper, which was a good one. Good call, sir. But here's a couple of things that I really needed. Water and food, right? Big ones. Really big ones. I mean, water, we ran out of water so quick. It was unbelievable. I mean, like, legitimate. It was no water anywhere. Walmart, Target, the dollar store, nowhere. We actually had a guy that came to my job and told me, dude, I got no water. And I was like, what do you mean you have no water, man? You have a baby, maybe a month old. You haven't bought any water? He's like, no, man, I cannot find water. So I say, you know what, man? I'm going to put a case of water in the truck. And if you come into, if something happened, I'm going to be here until Friday. You come by, I give you a case of water, because that's what we should do. We should help each other, right? And I just saw him this morning. Yeah, this morning or yesterday morning. I think it was yesterday morning. And obviously the hurricane already passed. And he's like, yeah, man, I found some water. I was good to go. But there was no water. Food. The stores ran out of food. I mean, it was ridiculous. It ran out of food. It was just ridiculous, right? Fuel cans. Can you believe this? There was no fuel cans. None. I mean, I've been into this for quite some time, and I didn't even thought about fuel cans. There was no fuel cans. I mean, they were gone. I saw two of them, and they were $20 a piece. And I said, nah, that's probably too expensive. And I was being cheap, and then kind of walked away from it. And then I was like, I really need a fuel can. And I came back to it, no fuel cans. About 2 days later, my father-in-law called me, or my mother-in-law was like, hey, this place has fuel cans. You want us to pick up some? I said, yeah, pick up some more, because I need the fuel cans in order to run my generators, right? So fuel cans was a big one, guys. Really big one. Obviously, a generator. One thing that I want to talk in a different video is the fact that 5 people have died that I know so far using a generator, because they're using a generator inside their house. Big no-no. Don't do that. Don't use a generator inside your house, inside your garage. I understand that it could be a possibility that someone could steal it, but you truly should not do that. I mean, obviously, people been dying because of that, right? So generator was a big one, but obviously with the generator comes fuel. With fuel comes fuel cans. And guess what, guys? Extension cords. They ran out of extension cords so quick. I mean, you couldn't find an extension cord. I have extension cords, right? So I was good. I have my two extension cords running from the back all the way into my house, and then kind of like to the sides. I was able to charge my batteries. I was able to run my TV. I was able to run the Xbox for the kids so they could play some Xbox. I was able to power my fridge. I was able to power my freezer in the garage. So extension cords, it was a big one. Really, really big one. Guess what else? Propane gas. Propane gas was gone. I mean, you could not find propane anywhere. Really, not anywhere. So preparing that. I mean, to the point that you don't have propane to cook. I mean, you have 10 pistols, but you may not have a generator to be able to power your food. Or maybe you don't have 2 propane tanks in order to cook. I mean, what are those pistols are going to do for you? They're going to do absolutely nothing. Two Feathers channel, good to see you here, sir. It says, buy a book. Good idea. Entertainment. I mean, 5 days with no lights, guys. I mean, eventually you just sit around and no internet, so you can't run like Netflix or anything like that. I don't have cable. You know, cable is way too expensive nowadays. Going to the library, we just went to the library just a few days ago, and my wife got a bunch of books. That's a great idea. You know, the library here in Palm Coast has a ton of books. So yeah, propane gas, very, very important. And again, this is some of the items that I needed, or I heard people that I needed, or talked to guys that asked me, like extension cords, was like, hey man, do you have any extension cord? So I hot plate. Some people were using hot plates to cook. That may be a good idea. We have a barbecue, and the barbecue has one of those side burners, and we were cooking there, and we were cooking in the barbecue. We also have a camping stove, and we use that as well, but obviously that needs propane, right? Sandbags may be a pretty good one. We ran out. I mean, there was no sandbags. The city was giving sun. What I did was that I used really light trash bags, and if you're on Patreon, I post a picture there. You guys saw that. But I used trash bags to push sand, and then I put the trash bag inside a Walmart bag, and I used that to stock up in my garage door and the front and the rear door, right? So that worked out pretty good. But sandbags may be something good to buy and kind of stock up, right? So that was a good idea. Lamps, you know, I guess, you know, I got so many flashlights that I use a lot of flashlights in order to, you know, I use a lot of flashlights to have lights, right? And I was running a generator, so I was able to power. You see my lights right here that I used to record video? I actually power those lights inside my house, and I was able to see pretty okay. So I really didn't need lamps, but some people were asking about that, so that's a pretty good idea. Power banks. Man, how I adore power banks. Check it out. Still got 2 cables in here for the iPhones. Power banks. I cannot tell you enough. I cannot tell you so much how much you need a power bank. I mean, this thing will charge your phone for 3-4 days. Obviously, according to the one that you get, according to the one that you're working with. But power banks is amazing. You really need to get one. You really do. I said it in every video. I don't know what's the deal. Let's see. Two Feather channel says candles. Candles. We were using candles as well. Very, very good idea, right? So that helped out a lot. Someone said, did my message get deleted? If you curse, the message goes into immersion message pal, and it won't post. So probably that was what happened. Flashlights. The thing about flashlights that I've been talking about for a while is that I like to keep my flashlights kind of like the self-defense side and self-defense system. I try to keep them with the same batteries. So if you go for AA flashlights, just have a chargeable system that you could charge all your AA's, right? Or if you go for whatever, AAA or whatever it is, just make sure you have the same flashlights that you have, 2-3 of them, with the same batteries to be able to charge him with a charger, right? And that's what I have. Worked out really, really good. So flashlights, great. Weather radio. I got one of those weather radios that I use. Man, I cannot tell you how important one of those things are. It's just amazing. Worked out really, really good. Once the TV, I was actually watching, TV and the computer, like live streaming a channel. I think it was West 2 or something like that. Once the TV went down, I was able to tune in to the channel with the weather radio. So now, obviously the picture went down. Now I'm listening to the same thing the lady and the guy and all those people, reporter, were talking about in my weather radio. Very, very important to do that. Gregory said, Jarhead, do you like revolvers? Of course, man. Revolvers are cool. So, what else? Let's see. Entertainment, I kind of talked about that. Not only books, Two Feather Channel said books, cars, like playing cars, so you could play some games. I actually wrote books here too. So that was great. First aid kit, we didn't have to use the first aid or anything like that, but that would be a good idea as well. So I just gave you a list or a couple of things that I think is critical, more than guns, in a way, or, as good as guns, that you really need to have, water, food, fuel cans, generator, extension cords, propane gas, sandbags, lamps, power bank, flashlight, weather radio, entertainment like books, cars. I mean, I just gave you a list of things that were pretty good, that we really needed, that I heard people talking about, that is critical to make sure that you're going to be okay. I mean, again, if a situation happened, a survival situation, I mean, and again, some people are saying, like, right now, ham radio, dog food. I mean, there is a ton of lists, a ton of stuff. Two Feather radios and tequila. I mean, there is a ton of stuff that you need, right? But I just wanted to highlight a few of them that we were like, okay, do we have this? Do we really need this? Or we actually went to those items constantly during the last 5 days, right? So there's a ton of things that you need that bypass just the guns, right? There's a ton of things that bypass the whole gun concept, and that's why I talk about it, because no one talks about it here in the channel. I mean, not a lot of people talk about this thing. People talk about guns, and you need 6 pistols and 20 rifles, but really we don't need about propane. We don't talk about propane gas, right? Or we don't talk about an extension cord. Because who's going to talk about that, That's not things that are cool to talk about, but those things that will help you out, and that you really need. So, anyways, let me look at some of the radios out here. You know what? For radios, I use this app, and I want to, actually talk about it a little bit more in a different video. But I use the Cello app right there. And what I did was that what you do here, and again, I'm going to talk, check this out. Hopefully you guys can see this good. All right, there we go. All right, so this is like a walkie-talkie kind of thing. You press here and you could talk, and there's different channels. And some of the channels that they are locally to you. So I was able to sign in, and I was able to sign into one of the channels, a bunch of channels, but one of the bigger channels here in my area. And as things were happening, people were talking over this radio. People were saying, hey, look, in this location, things are happening. In that location of, I don't have lights in the P section, or I don't have lights in the B section of the city. So it was really interesting and really beneficial to have. But with that said, once the internet died, and once the everything died and I lost reception, it was hard for me to hear, and it was hard for me to connect. So I think that the thing that a lot of people say is that you could connect to the application without Wi-Fi and without a connection. That's not really true. So I want to talk about that Zillow in the future. I'm going to talk about that. But yeah, a ton of things. So let me look at some of the comments in here. Some of you guys. Count Spooky said walkie-talkie for communication with the family. Let me see. I got a bunch over here. Oh yeah, look. I got some of this that I have used multiple times, but this radios are okay to be at a close range. Like if something happened and you have to go to the corner, and that's it, maybe 1 or 2 blocks away. But if you're talking about a long distance, it's not gonna work out. I mean, maybe, I think when I did the review of those radios, I want to say about 0.6 or 0.7 of a mile. Boom, done, gone. It wouldn't even work. So, yeah. Let's see. Schwal said the UV5R handheld, you could program the radio and get some of the NOAA frequency. Yep. That's pretty good. He also said 90% of my flashlights running 18650. Yeah, all the flashlights that I have run on that too, man. And again, it's kind of nice for all sometimes because we tend to review gear sometimes, and we have that opportunity to be able to get some gear, and review it and then use it for survival. So, but again, like I said in one of my last videos, there's still gear that I had to buy. There's still gear that we purchase or sell. So it is a good idea for some of you guys out there that are just listening to be able to invest some money in those type of flashlights and in those type of chargers. Because again, it would truly save your life, And obviously, if it's just you only need a flashlight. I got a wife, 3 kids. My in-laws were here, so I had like 9 people in my house, so it's a little bit different. Big Mo said portable solar panels to charge your batteries bank during the day. Yeah. Scott said water purifier. Yeah. Doom said propane and propane accessories. That's a pretty good one too, man, because we need a piece that will connect the big tank to the camping stove, and the one that I have really didn't work out. So having the right accessory, it would have been great. He also said, do you use the police radio app? No, I have not, man. Let me see. Yeah, and again, some of the guys that are down, that just went through this situation, and I did this. I was talking about this with the family the other day. We were like sitting down saying, all right, we need to sit down and say, what do we really needed during the last 5 days? Like right now, kind of like an after action report. What do we really needed? And actually think about it and go and buy those items so you haven't. And then what you could do is that you could do a kit, and you could call it the hurricane kit or whatever, call it whatever, survival. And then you starting to put items in there that you really need in some type of situation. Like I tell people all the time, hurricane season comes around this time every year. And every year we get people to people fighting over gas. One guy pull a gun and some other guy. People fighting over water. Hurricane season is coming. So go out there, buy the stuff that you need, and go for it. I'm still using things that I use in Hurricane Matthews. And now that I know that I need a couple of other things, I'm going to be able to invest the money on getting those things that I need for next year or maybe next week. Who knows when there's the next hurricane coming around, right? So, yeah, those are definitely things that you want to think about. So, again, guys, I wanted to come up here and I wanted to show my face because I haven't made a video in like a week. But again, no lights, no power for 5 days, no internet, things like that. So I hope you guys forgive me. But again, I wanted to come up here and be able to share some things of real life, real preparation, not just, get a gun and a rifle and you be okay. It is beyond that. Pastor Charles just said, forget meds, you're on. My wife just had to get some medication, and we had to make sure she had enough medication to pass this. Because again, once everything started, like we got in the news and all that, they were like, hey, guess what? First responders are not responding. So if you don't have the medication that you need during that week, you out of luck. So obviously, medication. I mean, there's so many things, guys, that we could sit down here and just talk about it for the next 3 hours. Sit down and identify items that you need. I don't know you. I don't know your conditions. I don't know your garage. I don't know what you have. I don't know the whole concept or your preparation plan. I don't know those things. You know them. So you could sit down and be what do I need? You know, like right now, you know, in one of my last videos, I show you guys a 5-gallon tank, right? Full of you know, filter water. Now, that I could easily grab that and put it in the back of my car. I got 5 gallons of water. So think about the things that you need and definitely go for it. So again, let me know what you think. You know, I'm glad to be back here and spend some time with you guys. I love doing this. So definitely let me know what you think. Put comments down below. And as always, guys, God is in control.